It's finally back, guys. Bryce Young, our savior, has returned. Let's talk about it.
Hey, I thought it was all over.
Welcome to Real Coverage. I am your host, Nick, diehard Panthers fan and resident skeptic of Carolina. I've made plenty of videos stating that I believe that Bryce Young is the savior of this organization, and I will continue to stand by that. Bryce Young has a stellar college career, has showed us that he has the ability to process the information quickly, make well-timed throws, and make the game easier on himself. He does not have an offensive line that can help him. He is currently have multiple wide receivers dealing with injury and also cannot get separation. And he is also dealing with a defense that is hindered quite a bit to injuries. I'm going to move over to a quick slide so we can see some of those injuries. First one I'm going to go with right off the top is the one that everyone always says is, oh, he's the savior, he's going to make it so much better, and that's DJ Chark, former wide receiver 2 or 3 in Jacksonville. Obviously was arrested, do not play, a limited, and then finally, today's Friday. Today's 9/29. Today he had a full practice. Luvu, limited, questionable tomorrow. Mingo, who I love out of college, limited, questionable tomorrow. Moten was in full practice, which is great. Again, we need to shore up that offensive line. Woods is going to be out. Henderson looks good to play. I'm just not sure if it's going to look on the field. Sanders is hurt again, which is obviously massive blow. That's why we went out and got Tariq Cohen, but I'd prefer if we did Hubbard and then Cohen if we're going to see it Sanders, but that's just me. I like Zavala, Bozeman. Of course, Bryce Young is returning. LeBron Ray, and then Thielen, somebody who would be wide receiver 4 on the Vikings right now. So I think that personally, again, I'm going to continue to pound the drum. Scott Fitterer needs to go. He is the reason why we are in the situation we are in. We are 0-3, about to go to 0-4 against the Minnesota Vikings. I do not see us escaping this win, barring a thought that I had that I actually put out on Twitter. If you don't follow us, it's Roll Coverage Pod on Twitter. And that thought was, the only way we win this game is if Kirk Cousins is somehow traded before this game starts. I don't see that happening. I see them at least going to the trade deadline in an attempt to see if they can go and win a few more games. I'm not really sure where the Vikings are at in the next 2 games or after this. But right now, they're going to pretty much cruise to a W against us, especially with Cam Akers having a full week to learn the playbook. Him, Madison, Jefferson, the dude that I went big on in fantasy, Jordan Addison. So, yeah, I think that the Vikings are going to win. I'd probably say the score is going to be 24-14 or 30-14. I can't expect us scoring a whole lot. I will obviously pick Bryce Young to get at least a touchdown. I'll probably also say an interception too, just because our receivers cannot get separation due to the lack of talent that Fitterer put around Bryce Young. But I am finally ready to say it, and I'm ready to defend Bryce Young to the end. And that is that he is the best quarterback out of that draft so far. He is dealing with the most... I don't really know how to describe it. Personally, I thought that Stroud would be a better option in the short term, and he's obviously showing that with the Texans. But the Texans also have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, who are 2 actually really good younger wide receivers, better than Chark, better than LaVisca. I think that, they're just all over the board. I don't know. I'm in a weird spot as a Panthers fan. And again, I'm going to talk directly to my Panthers fans out there if you hear me. Tell me your thoughts. I think that we are in a place worse than the Commanders, worse than the Giants, worse than the Browns, all that other stuff. Obviously, those teams will probably win more games than us. I think the only team that we're really better than right now is the Bears and maybe the Cardinals. But even then, I think the Cardinals could beat us with their ridiculous run game. I hate the fact that we haven't paid Brian Burns. Shout out Brian Burns. The fact that we haven't paid so many people on our defense. We're not paying anybody. It absolutely blows my mind. These injuries right here are absolutely ridiculous. I'm over it. As a Panthers fan, I want change. I want Bryce Young to be believed in. I want the fan base to start putting some pressure, personally, on the GM the front office and everything like that. I do not believe it is Reich. Reich can only draw up plays for what he has, and right now he has a wide receiver 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to keep Mingo out of it because he is a rookie, but everybody else pretty much in the receiving core, including Terrace Marshall, has not shown up, has showed us that they are at best wide receiver 3s right now. Even Thielen, he's got a nagging injury, so he's not going to be as consistent as many people would like. I am going to be honest, I would not be surprised if we didn't have a single 1,000-yard receiver this year, and that's saying a lot considering there's 17 games. But just as a Panthers fan, again, I'm very pessimistic about this. Not pessimistic about Bryce Young, not pessimistic about Wright, not pessimistic about Mingo, Brian Burns, Frankie Louvu, Moten, Bozeman, Zavala. I believe in these guys. I do not believe in I believe in Miles Sanders, to be honest. I really like him. But if we end up doing something in the running back room, I really wish, to be honest, this was my tinfoil hat theory from a few years ago. I'm going to throw this out real quick. I think that we should have traded Christian McCaffrey to the Titans and went and got Derrick Henry, ran Derrick Henry and Chuba Hubbard in a double running back set. We could have run Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas with 2 tight ends and really kind of did a different game. Really ran the ball more and more screen passes, more of the Shanahan offense essentially, but more of a modified version to work out with the pieces that we have. That's just me. I think that the game is like a rubber band. I've said this about different sports, including the NBA. As the game moves towards a passing offense, there will be a ton of teams that will excel with the running offense. Whereas before, a lot of people would balance the two. There are some people just leaning into both, leaning into one, like the Falcons, for example, limiting Desmond Ritter's throws and everything like that. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this. Bryce Young is the savior. Please believe in Bryce. Bryce, if you ever get the opportunity to see this, first of all, super cool. Again, diehard Panthers fan. Watch it through college. But I believe in you. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe in Mingo. I want you to believe in the pieces that are put around you for right now, but just know that this season is going to be your worst that you've probably had in a very long time. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that the organization does not want to put more around you, and I'm sorry that fans are trying to come after you saying you're a bust. That's not how this works. You are going to succeed, and I'm super happy to have you on my team. Welcome, Savior Bryce Young. This is Nick with World Coverage. Have a great rest of your night.